Hey, it's James, Fathers Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. I work with fathers, and I have worked with fathers for 24 years, and mothers, mostly fathers, for 24 years since I got full custody of my daughter when she was 7 months old without a lawyer. People love talking about spreading awareness and exposing the corrupt system. That's more yakety yak, empty hot air talk. We've been exposing the system for 60 years. There was a movie in the 70s called Kramer versus Kramer, Dustin Hoffman. I think it was Dustin Hoffman. Now I'm having a brain fart. About a custody battle and a dad losing custody of his kid. In about 2012, the documentary Divorce Corp came out, CORP. Everybody got all sexually aroused. Oh my God, they're exposing the system. Here we go. Nothing happened except, you know why? Because the exposure gets exposed to the only audience that's listening to that stuff is other victims of the court system. And all the victims of the court system are a bunch of PUSSYs that aren't doing anything and aren't fighting the right way. So all the victims of the court system didn't fight and play hardball like the bad guys did when they beat the snot out of you and abused the system and played all the leverage games, and you played along and lay down and took it up the rear and didn't stand up because you're afraid, or your attorney said, "Oh, we don't go into court and tell the truth about the other side because that looks bad when you tell the truth." If that was the case, nobody suing a doctor would ever, they'd never talk bad about the doctor. A prosecutor suing a rapist for them going to prison in criminal court, they talk bad about the rapist. Since when did you ever hear somebody going to court and fighting to expose somebody and they don't talk about what's wrong with them? The biggest problem is the numbnuts who don't use common sense God gave a monkey, and you follow the lead of somebody telling you. I mean, it's like if you want to travel from Kansas City to New York and you get on the, I don't know what the freeway is, or let's say Minneapolis, you're in Minneapolis, you want to go to New York, I assume you got to take I-90 to go east. But somebody puts you on I-90, you got a cab driver that's taking you, or somebody on a bus is driving the bus the other way, or somebody told you to get on this bus. And they're insisting, you call them and say, "Hey, you told me to get on this bus. This bus is heading west on I-90. Oh, no, that'll take you to New York. And you can see on a map right in front of your face, everything around you is telling you this is the wrong way. Yet you listen to some stupid jackass in violation of your own common sense, your own conscience, and everything that tells you I should be going the other way. That's what men do in family court. Everything's telling me I should fight for my daughter. I should call the mother out for being a child abuser and having a child molesting boyfriend and her being bipolar and mentally ill. You know, when the mother says that I can't have my kid in violation of the order, I should be getting her in trouble. My lawyer says that the judge doesn't care. So I'm going to follow my stupid jackass lawyer? Why do we have a court order if I can't get her in trouble? Why is there a contempt motion option if I can't do contempt? Why are you listening to idiots when idiots told me from Goldberg and Jones? Just Google it. Goldberg and Jones, Seattle. It's supposedly a father's rights law firm. They told me I get every other weekend. I said I live 3 blocks away from the mom and I work at night. I should see my daughter every day. And maybe get every other weekend, but I should see her every day, watching her. I should be the number one option. The lawyers from Goldberg and Jones, even though I worked at night, I did a video on these guys. See, this is the type of stuff that real men do. After you get royally screwed to or lied about, you go and expose those people and you embarrass them and make their life miserable. And you tattle. You don't just do a video on YouTube. You email the law firm and everybody working there the video. When I won a reversal in the Court of Appeals and got Judge James Edwin Rogers reversed, I emailed everybody at the courthouse, the clerks, the bailiffs, and all the judges, and embarrassed him And I said, this guy made a decision, a bad decision with child support. My sister with Down syndrome can read the laws on child support better than your fearless leader, the presiding judge, James Edwin Rogers in Seattle and King County. I protested him in his neighborhood, told everybody that he was a child molester. And I talked to his neighbors. His neighbors thought he was wonderful until I came over there and talked to them. And I didn't even go door to door and do anything. I was out there, and a couple neighbors like, "What are you doing out here? Why are you And it was Easter. Why are you out here on Easter Sunday? This is a family neighborhood." I said, "Well, if Judge Rogers didn't throw me in jail for no good reason, I wouldn't be out here. If he didn't do this, that, and the other, I didn't have to go to the Court of Appeals and waste my time to get in reverse." That's the real exposing, going where they're at and embarrassing them. Doing a documentary, Divorce Corp. How do you think that disturbed the bubble of the judges? I've talked about it in videos before. These judges are in this bubble in the courtroom and nobody could touch them. Unless somebody runs against them and we vote them out specifically for their family court rulings, and that'll put peer pressure on these other judges. But that will never happen because my gender is a bunch of PUSSYs and they're lazy bums. And they won't get together and help out campaigns like that. So, if they're not going to do the number one thing that'll get judges fired and change the system, when you fire somebody for a specific reason, then the next people in line aren't going to do that bad thing anymore because they know they'll get fired. But we're not voting them out. We're not doing anything about that. The next thing that could happen is a major fathers' rights movement like the civil rights movement. We can't get 5 guys to go to back-to-back meetings planning of any kind of protest. I've been out there protesting the courts. I have pictures and videos of me protesting, especially on YouTube. None of you guys want to do that. So what's the next thing? The only thing left. You fight the way the other side fights. The side that's winning, you fight like them. You don't go to court and win brownie points with the court or Cub Scout ribbons or Boy Scout ribbons by playing Mr. Nice Guy. You don't play Mr. Nice Guy with a bully at school and give him $2 instead of $1 for your lunch money. If you do that, they'll punk you even more. You got dads out here who have court-ordered visitation, and the mother says, "You can't have the kids," and they go, "Okay." They think the mother still owns them. I had one guy a couple years ago call me, and he wasn't seeing his kid, and he said the mother was saying you can't. And then halfway through the phone call, he's like, "Well, my court order says that I can." I'm like, "You're not picking up your kid when you have court-ordered time with the kid? Go get your kid." I can't remember if he had to pick up the kid from school or let's say it was school. Go pick up your kid at school. "Oh, I can do that? What if she calls the cops?" How the frick can somebody call the cops when you have a court order giving you that time? Anyway, people want to create awareness and exposure and get the word out. It's already been out. Go watch the movie Divorce Corp. The guy who created that movie, Joe Sorge, Sorge, he said he was going to talk to Washington, D.C. and have all these meetings and try and reform family court. That guy fell off the face of the earth a year later. He's a feminine, fruity little sissy coward. I told him, "You're wasting your time." I said, "You need to do these other types of things. You spend $1 million, millions of dollars making this documentary, the best documentary that's ever been done, and super accurate and very powerful." But the judges are sitting in the chambers laughing, not even paying attention to that. It doesn't disturb their bubble. Even when judges let rapists out and they go and rape again, and the news stations are at the judge's driveway the next morning, what do the judges do? They get in their car, don't say anything, know it's going to blow over in a few days and move on. Nobody disturbs their bubble. Awareness has not worked in 60 years. Go learn how to fight. Call me, watch my videos, learn how to fight the right way, and go do it and go rescue your kid and win your case. Stop whining, crying, pissing and moaning, and waiting for somebody to create awareness or forming a group while you guys talk on Facebook among enough. Nobody's paying attention to you other than other victims. Awareness isn't working. It hasn't worked in 60 years. Wake the hell up to reality. Go fight for your kid in your case and fight the right